Please remember to like, subscribe and comment, as we love to hear back from our viewers. Also, if you enjoy our videos, please consider becoming a patron of our show through Patreon and or GoFundMe. Links are listed below the video in the description. From the deepest, darkest recesses of Dangerous Nerds headquarters, Keith Moncrief and Gerry Kissell.
Hey guys, it's another episode of Pop Culture Minefield with Keith
and Gerry.
And today we're going to talk about a lot of nerd stuff because we're big old nerdy nerds. I'm a nerd. Am I not nerdy enough for you? So we're going to be doing our birthdays first. So let's pull up some birthdays here. What do we got?
Today, for this...
It's Monday. We missed Sunday, so we got to do March 31st birthdays as well as today. So let's go. Oh my God! Look at that first one.
Mr. Ewan McGregor.
Ewan McGregor. And I've got a Scottish friend who would say you're doing a pretty good Pakistani accent there. Whenever someone tries to do Scottish accent, he goes, "What are you, from Pakistan?" So we got Ewan McGregor, our own Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Christopher Walken.
Christopher Walken with the hair. Now you might not know this person, but I'm a big fan of hers. Is Kate Micucci, and she's been on so many shows like Raising Hope. She was the daycare lady. Mm-hmm. I just love her. She was also the final daughter on the Married series with the guy that played Ray's brother.
Really?
Yeah, and because during the series run, they had 3 actresses play the daughter, and she was the final actress to play her. But the funny part was, to make fun of that in the show, they made her husband be aware of the fact that there were other actresses, and he began suspecting that he was on a sitcom. And he would occasionally catch crew members. Nobody else would notice him. He's like pointing, right there. And everybody would turn and they'd be gone again. Sound gaffers, stuff like that. It was funny. I love that show. I can't remember the name of it, but it was really good. Ray. The big brother. We got, let's see.
Rhea Perlman.
Oh my God, yeah. Penguin, what's his name?
Danny DeVito.
Danny DeVito.
For several years.
His wife.
And I think she's an Emmy winner because I think she may have won for Cheers.
I wouldn't be surprised. She was one of the best parts of that show. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Richard Chamberlain.
Mr. Richard Chamberlain.
He is having a birthday today. And of course, the classic Shirley Jones from Partridge Family.
Yeah, she was
amongst other musicals.
Very, very talented lady.
Tony Cox, and of course Mark McClure, and one of my favorites, Gabe Kaplan.
You gotta love Gabe.
Yes. He did a stand-up routine many years ago, and he did the best story, true story, about his relationship with Groucho Marx. And impression of Groucho. His Groucho was so spot on, even facially. He just nailed it. Let's see. And then, of course, now, today, April 1st, April Fool's Day, we got Mackenzie Davis. And this guy is, like, my daughter had a crush on him pretty bad. Taran Killam from Saturday Night Live.
Yes.
And then, of course, our own and my BFF, Robert Scott McCall. Happy birthday, you bastard. Then the beautiful Annette O'Toole from Smallville, and she was in Superman 3.
Which is ironic because she got to play Lana Lang first.
She played Lana Lang first. She was the first actress to play Lana Lang. And then we've got Ally McGraw, Steve McQueen's ex.
She's the amazingly talented Ally McGraw. She was everywhere growing up.
Oh my God, she was. She even ended up in Dynasty in the 80s. Yeah. And the thing that amazes me is, like, I'm serious, I thought she was dead. Because we haven't heard from her in so long. Yeah. And I'm like going, oh, she's still alive. Why isn't she working? She was gorgeous. She was also in Love Story with Ryan O'Neal.
Yep.
And let's see. I cannot pronounce this guy's name properly. David Oyelowo.
Yeah,
Oyelowo.
Yeah.
And it's his birthday. He was in Selma and a few other films. And then, of course, Men in Black's Barry Sonnenfeld, who also did my favorite iteration of Get Shorty.
Oh, yeah. Also the director of...
The Addams Family.
Yeah, the Addams Family.
And Addams Family Values.
Yep.
And what else? He's been involved with a lot of stuff.
So much stuff.
Okay, we're just...
The thing is, Barry is talented and very funny and just...
I remember a story about him that cracked me up, which was he was trying to get Tommy Lee Jones to play straight with him and do things the way he was asking. And Tommy is kind of known as a curmudgeon and, to be honest, dickish. And Barry walked into his trailer and cried, begging him to do it. And his crying broke Tommy Lee Jones' heart. His heart grew 3 times that day.
Wow.
I read.
3 sizes.
And 3 sizes. And it, he did what he was asked to do. And that's how Barry got him to do stuff for him. He would cry. And I love that story. He's told that story, I think, in Rolling Stone and another magazine in interviews. But let's see, we've got some posthumous birthdays. We have the beautiful Grace Lee Whitney that we lost. She was Yeoman Rand on Star Trek.
Yeah.
And, of course, Princess Leia's mom, Debbie Reynolds. And, my favorite, Toshiro Mifune, who is probably I have referred to him when I've written about him as being the Spencer Tracy, John Wayne, and Cary Grant of Japanese cinema. Because he was that good.
Yeah.
He could play the strong, hard character like Spencer would play, or he could play the tough guy warrior like John Wayne would play, and then he'll turn around and play this charming, handsome lover. Or the respected man character like Cary Grant would pull off. Toshiro was really one of the best actors I've ever seen.
Yeah, he was.
And but with that, that's our birthdays for both Sunday and today, for April Fool's Day. And now we'll get back to talking about news. And one of the things we're going to talk about is something that he wanted to talk about that he shared with me, which is really freaking cool. Because we've talked about Star Trek V before, and I've always felt that it was a film that Shatner got screwed on. Not only in the edits, but by, what's his name, Solo? Is that his name?
No. By his producer. And for that particular film, his producer was...
I keep thinking Robert Solo.
No. You're thinking of Herbert Solo.
Solo, that's it.
And that was for the television series. But for Star Trek V, he had a much different person working with him. But the story is the fact that there is a fan edit of that film, which utilizes basically having cleaned up the entire thing and added brand new visual effects to it.
CG.
Yeah. Now, what they were attempting to do is to bring Shatner's original vision to life by not only just fixing things that didn't work or things that had been done originally, but also adding in the proper ending that Shatner had written that they weren't able to film because the money ran out. That's another thing about that movie. I don't think I've ever heard of a big studio movie that while you were
that's
shooting...
why we ended up with so much bad effects in it.
Yes.
I mean, you've got that... They did stop motion animation with the Klingon Bird of Prey, and it's clearly animated, and it's really weird looking.
Yeah.
It's visually off-putting. I'm looking for... How are we going to get a hold of a copy?
Well, now that's the thing. This is not an official thing. These are fans doing this. And it's done for the specific purpose to try to motivate Paramount to spend money to actually do it themselves, to do a proper
Or
version.
pay them.
Yeah, ultimately. But basically, this is something that they wanted to do kind of like they wanted to see done, mainly because Paramount was spending money to actually fix and make the original series and the Next Generation stuff look good. And so, in the shadow of what had happened with Superman 2, with the Donner cut, many people, especially these guys, have decided, hey, why don't we try the same thing and see if it works? I'm hoping it does. They do, though, they did have details placed out there as far as being able to put this together.
And I think legally, as I recall, you have to own a legal copy of the film to be able to download and watch alternate versions legally.
Yeah.
So make sure you own a copy of Star Trek V before you go downloading a fan cut.
Yeah, it's called the Star Trek V Enhanced Fan Edit DVD.
Do they have a website? Are they doing it through a download site? Or
actually, they do, but we'll have to put those links.
Can we legally put the links there?
That I don't know, but you
we'll put the link to the article.
Yeah,
and
you can just go ahead and Google that, though. Trust me, it'll come up.
Exactly.
Yeah, so yeah, go ahead and Google that information, and it should come up. But to me, anything that we can do to help really finish this particular film and help fulfill William Shatner's original vision, to me is just, that's important. Because I personally would like to see his original vision for this story actually just given life.
But I think this falls in the same category, though, as because we've talked ad nauseum about Star Trek and the problems at CBS, Paramount, and what they did with the splitting and all that. But one of the things we've also seen is the two special editions that they've done releasing was the original series, which they redid the special effects and also rescored it.
Yeah.
So we got a whole new orchestral scoring and vocal at the beginning that had that constant theme throughout the series, the new the version they released. And then, of course, we also got The Next Generation when they released that. Yeah. And that was a lot of money that went into that.
Yes. Well, now, in the case of the classic Star Trek series, what that was is that the audio portion of that wasn't really made to be used because it was all basically just ancient. You had to re-record pretty much all of that music because to use the original audio from that wasn't possible. So the music would not have sounded...
Well, it would have been easier to do this way than to try to pull from it. And I get that. But what I'm going on about is the money. Yeah. Because people have asked, like, when are we going to see Deep Space Nine? I see this all the time.
Yes.
When are we going to see Voyager get released? And I'm like, you're not.
Yeah, you're not.
It's not going to happen because Next Generation, the original series cost some money.
Yeah.
But Next Generation cost so much money for them to release in HD, to do the special release, that you'll never see Deep Space Nine or Voyager at this point.
Yeah.
Because Paramount can't see the cost effectiveness of it because they're still not made the money back yet in sales. Even though a lot sell, they still have not made the money back yet from Next Generation.
And given a lot of the money problems that they're having to
be
able to launch even a new Star Trek film, which is the real reason why you haven't seen any more of the new movies with Chris Pine and company.
There's no money.
It's not about Chris Pine holding out. It's about the fact they got no money. Because the company that was originally, the Chinese company that was originally supporting them, not only to make Star Trek films, but a lot of other movies outside of just Star Trek, has decided to part ways with them, so they are at an impasse.
Exactly. And this is what's bleeding over into Discovery. Because basically, we've talked about this, once again, ad nauseum, that Discovery... They've hedged their bets on Discovery. Yeah. But now they've got a possible trump card, which is Picard. So we've heard that, yes, they greenlit a third season, but the word coming out of CBS from an insider was that they've got no money for it. Yeah. There's no money for season 3. And immediately upon hearing that, we hear they kicked Aaron, what's his name, Pine. that played Pike. I mean.
Oh yeah. The actor. Oh man.
Anson.
Yeah, Anson Mount.
Anson Mount got kicked to the curb.
Yeah.
And all of this news kind of comes out at one time, and you've got to pay attention to that stuff. Because you do. Yeah. I know you do. I've learned a lot from this guy.
It's not just getting rid of him, it's getting rid of the actress that played number 1, too. I mean, they are both...
She was only there for one scene eating a hamburger. It's like, why did they bother doing that if they didn't plan to do more? Well...
Plus, why would you cast that actress? I mean, they
Rebecca Romaine? Nah.
You cast her, you make a big deal out of it. You could have cast anyone else.
Anybody.
This is not good. But, hey, you know, they're trying to let you know that CBS All Access is supposedly doing very well. And
it's not because, you know, subscribers, it's low. Yeah. And it dropped after season 1 of the series.
It's never going to do the kind of numbers that Netflix is doing, that Disney Plus will probably do.
Because they have far more content.
Yes. That people want to see. I mean, you can be a Star Trek Discovery fan, although if you're watching this, why? But you can be a fan. There's not enough of you guys willing to spend money on CBS All Access for them to be able to afford. Basically, all you Star Trek Discovery fans, really, if the show is that good, all of you who are watching it should be paying for it. Now, a lot of you probably aren't. So...
Harrison Ford pointing. Who need my wife?
A lot of you probably aren't, which is the problem. Everyone who says they are a Star Trek Discovery fan needs to go and... Basically, you need to make sure to buy your CBS All Access. And on top of that, all of you who do that need to make sure to have 5 to 10 friends do the same thing, and then maybe they might have something. But seriously,
right now, there's no money for next season, and
not enough for you guys.
And this is what just happened with Winona Earp.
Yeah,
is got greenlit for another season, but there's no money to make it. So guess what's not going to happen? We're not going to get another season of Winona. Winona. Why am I having trouble
I
with that
have
word?
no idea.
Winona.
That's about you and your...
We got burger day. I talk words. So, but with that, I think we've carried on long enough.
Yes.
You guys are tired of us at this point.
Yes.
And I'm drunk on this water. It's time for me to drive home from the studio. But with that, we are going to sign off. This is another episode of Pop Culture Minefield with Keith.
And Gary.
And we hope to see you guys next time. Y'all come back now.
Yeah.
Y'all come back now. You hear?
Hi comics and monster fans, welcome to the Return to Monster Island Kickstarter campaign. I'm Graham Nolan. You probably know my work from my years of working at Marvel and DC Comics. I'm the designer and co-creator of the Batman villain Bane. I've recently partnered with my friends at Ominous Press to bring you the 20th anniversary edition of Monster Island. And thanks to all of the backers that supported the project, it was a great success, and we can finally bring to you the long-awaited sequel, Return to Monster Island. It's been 20 years in the making, and I think everybody's been patient long enough. Return to Monster Island is the long-awaited sequel to my original story, Monster Island. It's been 20 years in the making. I've always wanted to do this sequel, and the subsequent sequels. This was originally an idea that had 4 story parts, and this obviously is the first one. 2 years have passed since the original adventure, and our heroes, Mac and Duke, are called back to action. When the Monster Island shows up on the Navy radar screens above the Bering Sea, it's a race against time to get there before the Russians. A group of aliens has taken over the island, and our heroes have to set things right before the island disappears once more. New characters, new monsters, and new dangers await you on the Return to Monster Island. Some of the great rewards for this campaign include Return to Monster Island in full color, a colorized version of the original Monster Island, commission art done by me, and lots of other great stuff. Thank you for joining us for Return to Monster Island. I hope you'll consider pledging your support to this campaign. I know with your help it'll be a huge success.